Welcome back, all 8 of you. Now, you're not going to believe this, but I made a second map! This time with all the hard demons. After completing No Eyes, I can officially check it off and move to my next step. Soulwind. This is an amateur's path to beating Bloodbath. So let's hop right in. Now, I would just like to thank this level for actually being difficult. Starting with No Eyes was horrible, as it ended up just being a medium demon in disguise. But this is what I wanted. However, I go into these levels without previous knowledge, so let's start with everything I know. My initial practice run was terrifying. No Eyes was not a good tutorial, so any bit of difficulty in the level scared me. Not only was there difficulty in the execution of the level, but it also contains a ton of memory. Constant fake orbs, invisible spikes, and off-screen gameplay. I knew I had my work cut out for me. Like No Eyes, I practiced the level from back to front, starting by getting small runs to the ending and making sure I really have the ending down, so that hopefully when I get there in a real run, it's completely muscle memory. This time, the opposite of No Eyes, I struggled to get to the end consistently and get runs to 100. To counteract this, I just kept throwing attempts at it until I would eventually get a run. That's right, instead of practicing the end more, I practiced the parts before it to get more attempts there. That won't come back to bite me later. One thing I did while practicing is after learning a section, I would learn the transition to the next. I find that after this, getting there in normal mode feels a lot more natural. Overall, learning the level was quite fun. I was looking forward to playing it. However, while individual jumps may be easy and sections relatively consistent, the whole is beyond. After beginning to play from zero, I realized just how much harder this level was. But I was able to get a few new bests, eventually ending the first session with 31%. Now, as many of you may know, there is a term known as the sleep buff. Basically, sleeping after learning a level is one of the best things you can do, as the inputs are committed to memory, not just the muscle memory. So later that same day, I relearned the level to hopefully exaggerate this buff. I started on day 2, ready to take on the level. Nothing was going to get in my way, except for getting to hit the record button. However, the attempt after remembering to record, I got a much better personal best, so it's like you missed nothing. As for the sleep buff, the main difference was in the memory sections. I was falling through the fakes much less often, and every section just felt easier. But if I had to summarize day 2 in one word, it would be inconsistent, in both my skill and my time playing. I started off nice with several new bests, getting all the way to 69%. Then the mind block set in. After playing the same part in the same level over and over again, you tend to make silly mistakes. Holding too long, clicking early, stuff you wouldn't normally do. Mind block is when that silly mistake turns into a run killer you just cannot stop making. Sure, I had long runs, but they were few and far between. The majority of my time was spent in the first 30%, dying over and over. Eventually, I decided that enough was enough, and I got off of it for the day. Meaning that, now we're on to day 3. Today, I would start a new strategy, quitting the level because I was mad. When it comes to games, I try my best to stay level-headed, but this level was starting to get to me. Even in my anger, though, I was still able to get a new personal best of 2 clicks. However, after this, Session 5 started much better with a practice run. On day 2, I thought in my infinite wisdom that I didn't need to practice the level, so that sleep buff which I curated was lost. And I would spend a good amount of time relearning everything just to feel prepared to play again. It was in this practice that I would get this attempt. Fuck you. Fuck you. Hopefully this is a sign of good things, because what the hell.
Okay, good, I died.
Now my reaction might have been counterintuitive. Instead of joy from getting a far run, it was anger that it had to be on an attempt starting from 16 instead of 0. Now I haven't really said this before, but my plan for the entire journey was for me to beat Bloodbath before 2027. This means, on average, I have around 12 days per level. And since I don't expect to beat the later demons in only 12 days, I want to give myself as much padding as possible to account for this. So I want each level to take the shortest time possible. With that said, my runs from 0 were feeling good. I was getting quite consistent with the first 50%, and it felt like the completion was just around the corner, right when fate had different plans. This left me distraught. So close to the ending, just 2 sections before it was over. I got into my own head. For the next 30 minutes, I kept throwing my cube at the wall, getting angrier and angrier, losing my mind. Some runs were good, others only served to make me mad. I went as far as to stop the recording in order to watch back a clip of me dying, as I swore that I was holding down for a jump. Finally, after 5 sessions, this is my completed attempt.
I didn't realize. That's impressive.
Now, after this completion, I will be crowning myself as an expert in the level, and as such, I would like to give it a rating. As for enjoyment, I would give this level 6 out of 10. The level as a whole was fun to play, and while I enjoy learning memory-based gameplay, after a point of messing it up, it was getting aggravating to play, which unfortunately impacted my enjoyment of the level. As for difficulty, I would give this level 4 out of 10. It took me about double the attempts of No-Wise, but I didn't feel like I was truly challenged, and as such, makes me only give it a 4 out of 10. And with that, I would like to thank you for watching this video. It would mean the world to me if you could leave a comment on something you either enjoyed or think I should change. Once again, thank you. Peace.